lecture may well come down to how the GEA team copes with the fundamental tensions of transformation. As they emerged from the tough days in 2015, their survival anxiety was a powerful and understandable catalyst for change, and hence a driving force for the higher Rendanheyi transformation. Yet, as we know, this drive to survive can also be resisted by the anxieties associated with learning a new way, particularly such a radical proposed change. As the change equation goes, survival anxiety must exceed learning anxiety for the transformation to succeed. This case suggests, even further, a refinement to the equation that the learning energy, both anxiety and anticipation, may have added tailwind to the survival anxiety to propel GEA to such remarkable improvement within the first 5 years. This is certainly an important story to understand in 2021 and continue to study well beyond, since we suspect there will be much more to learn as two aligned leaders from divergent traditions develop the vision and find the space to challenge each other to continue changing. Transformation only ends when an entity ceases to exist, and it only succeeds when humans at work are given the autonomy and trust in each other to continually refine the change to suit conditions on the ground as close to the customer as possible. Palo Alto, California, USA, Peter A. Shine. Palo Alto, California, USA, Edgar H. Shine. October 2021. Preface. Industries, companies, and public organizations will all be disrupted in the years ahead, both by digital technologies and by adjustments to the alarming onset of climate change. The context for this book is that the future will force companies to migrate to a new management model better suited for the new time, the digital and sustainable age. I first observed key elements of this new approach in use at Google. My findings were published in an award-winning journal article and in my 2014 book, The Google Model: Managing Continuous Innovation in a Rapidly Changing World. Then, starting early in 2014, I expanded my studies. The goal was to ascertain whether I was, in fact, onto something that might be widely applicable. So I combed through writings by a multitude of eminent business scholars, consultants, journalists, and executives worldwide, searching for evidence on what works best for managing amid rapid change. At the same time, I widened my own inquiries to look at companies which, like Google, had become well known for their growth and innovativeness in Silicon Valley. These companies were Tesla, Apogee, and the social networking leaders Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I found a remarkable convergence. The companies turned out to be using management principles and practices that not only were similar to each other's and to Google's, but were also congruent with the best management practices identified in my global review of leading research literature. Research disciplines covered were, for example, strategy, management, management innovations, management of technologies, innovation management, diffusion of innovations, learning organizations, open innovation, transformation, and change management, system theories, entrepreneurship, and more. I labeled these practices the Silicon Valley model because at the time the Valley was where they appeared to be most highly developed and most thoroughly applied. The results of the further study, including a detailed description of the model, were published in the Silicon Valley Model Management for Entrepreneurship by Steiber and Allange in 2016. Then, shortly afterward, Haier, the global home appliance firm, invited me to visit its headquarters in China. People at Haier wanted to discuss their own management model, which in their view was even more advanced than the Silicon Valley model.